Oh no!
Hello.
What
Good
happened to
morning.
me?
Where's your camera?
I don't know.
Okay, Dani's gonna find her camera while I say good morning to everybody. Good morning or good afternoon, wherever you might be. Hello and welcome to Glitter and Gators. We're gonna be talking about our we're gonna be talking about our favorites of the whole year. Did it get unplugged? It's looking.
I don't my whole screen went black. The whole screen went black, like on my side, and now nothing is. Let me stop it, and then
Yeah, you can
try to.
also just refresh your screen. It won't stop the stream because I'm here.
Okay, let me
So if you need to do that,
let me do that.
Anyways, good morning, everybody. I have my first coffee of the day and a pile of things next to me. I was so restrained, like to the point where I'm like, Dani's going to get all set up, and then I'm going to need to go get more things because I have very, like, compared to what I feel like I should have next to me, I only have like a few things, and I need to fix that. So I might have to grab a couple of extra things once she's back and set up. But it's so good to see everybody here. I love hanging out in these. And we were like, we just want to have a chill hangout and we want to talk. I've stopped doing like monthly favorites. I don't know. Dani doesn't really do, I don't think, monthly favorites. So we figured we would do like our favorites from all of 2024, which is tricky to do and to like narrow down, but I think we might have managed it. She's back. Welcome back. That's one thing I love about StreamYard though, is that you can like legit just like straight up leave and come back. It's amazing.
Thank goodness, because I'm just like the second the thing went, like all my browser stopped, and then it was just like black screen, and I was like,
of course it is. Of course. Yeah, that's how it goes. I was just telling everybody I'm probably gonna have to get more stuff. So
I mean, we'll probably dig around everywhere we are and be like, hold on, I gotta show you something. So look,
yeah, it's gonna be
prepare
more
yourself for
sure.
just chaos today.
Chaos.
Because, you know, it's that lull week between Christmas and New Year, and nobody's got their shit together. So I'm like, it's fine.
This is literally like I have such, what's the word for it? Like, you know how you hate going back to, like, you know, I call it the Sunday scaries, you know, I don't want to go back to work on Monday kind of thing. And like the main thing that helps me battle Sunday scaries is like doing this and doing BG3 on Sundays.
Yes.
If I didn't have that, I'm such a bitch on Sundays. I don't know what happens to me.
I'm like, everything seems so sad on a Sunday. And like the weeks after, like the few days after Christmas all feel like Sunday. So it's like
it's like perpetual Sundays. And then and so I don't know why, but I'm feeling it more. But it's funny because I call it the Christmas drop, right? You have all the build up to the holidays, and then you get into the holidays and you do your thing, whatever that is. And then there's like the splat after. It's kind of like when you go up a roller coaster and it's like ticka 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 ticka, you know?
Like,
and then
yeah. And then it's like all the adrenaline is gone. It's just a crap.
Yeah. It's funny because I don't experience that as much now that we do really low key, super chill Christmases, but it's still there. There's still some weird energy in the air after the holidays. I don't know.
It's so true. It's so true.
Yeah.
And so that's why we decided to do our favorites too, because then we get to talk about all the good stuff. Exactly. So we can just bring all that in.
Yeah. I told Dani before we did this, I was like, listen, all the big things happened this year. There was the book, the decks, like all the things. So just so y'all know, those are all perpetual favorites, but I also don't want this entire stream to be about all the shit.
Also, because like, again, tops of my list, UJT, Sassy Dragons, Unlocking the Tarot. Like, let's just all say that those are perpetual favorites, and we're going to do everything extra on top of that, but those are already set. So just know that those are a thing.
Amazing things, but also, yes, I would like to talk about other things also.
And also, we did start Glitter and Gators in 2024. So that is top of the list. You guys, Glitter and Gators, number one.
Everything. All the number one.
So thank you guys for being here.
Thank you so much. I legit wrote that down as like a favorite. because I was like, you know what? Like, I feel like this was such a good year for so many. I feel like so many good things came to like trees bearing fruit. I feel like all the good fruit happened this
Yes.
year. Like, and
Yes.
it's like this huge basket of bounty. I don't even know where to begin. So
Yeah.
I'm like, let's just talk about all the big, good, amazing things.
Yeah.
This was a good
Especially
year.
because, like, I know, in certain aspects, a lot of people have had just a rough year. My year has been a roller coaster. So it's like really good to look back and be like, regardless of the difficult things, there's always good stuff happening. There's always good stuff to be found. So, like, especially when we're in this like winter blues, come and hang out with us. Y'all share y'all favorites along with us. I'm going to post up banners to know that what we're talking about. And I want you guys to throw all the good shit in the comments. We want to read all your good shit along with us, please.
Yeah, it's kind of like a way to look back in a sense of like gratitude of like what stands out as like the things that kept us going and made us happy. And
Absolutely.
so here for this.
And like, I just want to take a moment to say that this is episode 11. Yeah. Okay, so episode 12 might not happen because you want to tell them why, Lisa? You want to tell them why we're
going to be together in Florida in December for the first. I am going to like lose my freaking shit. Get to pick you up from the airport, like legit. I'm gonna lose my shit.
I'm gonna cry. Just FYI, I'm gonna be.
There's gonna be crying and
full
hugging, and it's gonna be
all
messy.
the things.
I'm just gonna say it because like this has been years and years and years in the making. But we are going to have a little girls' weekend. It's gonna be you. It's gonna be me in a room together. We're gonna have Dawn with us.
We're gonna have Dawn with us, and poor Dawn. Listen. I know you might not be a hugger, but baby, I'm a hug you anyway. I'll do a side hug. We could side hug. No. You're getting a hug.
No, just full on. She can take it. Trust me, it's all good. Yeah, she can handle it. But I'm going to be presenting at StarCon in West Palm Beach, January. So I will grab. Actually, let me just grab a link for y'all.
Grab a link, yeah.
StarCon. So I'll be presenting on the Saturday during the conference. I'm really excited. I've been looking forward to it for forever. Here's the link to StarCon if you haven't heard of it. So if you are in the area, obviously, please come by, say hello. Yes. We'll probably be bopping around the conference on Saturday, and yes, that's where we've got an Airbnb. And like, listen, I'll be real honest. I'm excited to present 100%, but also really excited to have my two besties in the same room with me, like for like several days in a row. So that's what we're doing. I will point out, StarCon you can attend virtually or in person.
Yes.
So check it out because there is a virtual option.
Yes. And I think for the virtual, you can you don't have to be.
You can watch it on your own time, like on demand.
I think you can watch it on your own time. I don't think you have to be like in there at that moment, and then you can come back and watch. And I think you can do the same thing as we're doing, where it's just like you can do a day, you can do the whole weekend. There's like different options. So if you guys are looking into that, but yeah, we're probably going to be there. I know we are going to be there for sure on the Saturday. All three of us kind of bopping around and being in Lisa's chat and all that stuff. So yeah, I had to mention that up top because it's so close, and it's going to be
so close.
It's gonna be amazing. I'm so excited.
I can't wait. Like, it's been a full-on countdown. Because it's like Dawn's really close, like physically. So a drive, like it's still like a drive, but like it's a drive. But like, oh my god, if I could fucking drive to Louisiana, we would have met years ago. Like, it's just been a thing. And I think also my life is shifting in a way that hopefully I'll be able to travel a little bit more. We'll see. But the biggest thing with us is the dogs. So I always have to leave Peggy at home, which sucks. Either leave Peggy at home or we have to find a dog sitter because we got a diabetic. But that's been making things a little bit tricky. But we are set for this. We have had our tickets for like a while. We are like,
I'm so ready.
We've known about it for months. So I can't freaking wait. Yeah.
So if you don't see a glitter and Gators, that's probably why.
That's probably why. But I'm sure we'll try to do something, even if we just selfie vlog a couple clips or something. We'll figure something out.
We'll figure something out, of course.
Yeah,
of course.
We'll have the space. Maybe while we're lounging by the pool or something. Exactly. I've never
better be warm enough, West Palm Beach. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, get your shit together, West Palm Beach, because like legit, I have never been to that part of the world at all, let alone anywhere where it might be not cold in the winter.
True.
I'm really excited because like January is the month when like we start to get snow and stuff typically. So I'm like I'm waiting for that moment where it's like snowing here and I get to get on a plane
and get out where it's hot and sticky, baby.
Yeah, legit. And somebody remind me to take pictures because I'm really bad about it. Bad about it. We had better take all the fucking selfies, please.
All do not let me get away. We're gonna try. We'll make a little clip.
We're gonna have to figure something out because every time I get together with Dawn, do we remember to take selfies? Like,
of course not.
No, but I'm very much an in the moment person. Like, I just want to. So I just don't want to forget because like it needs to happen.
And that would be one of those things where it's like it's selfie time.
Yeah, legit. Okay, just had to like fuss.
So good. Okay,
that's our big exciting.
Are you ready to dive in?
Yeah. Yes.
Let's start with something fun, like our memory.
I think you should just randomly. Yeah, you pick a category. What memory?
Let's start with like memories. Like what things stand out this year? That was just like this was so great.
Oh gosh. Glitter and Gators, I literally wrote down at the top of my list. That has to be the thing. Yeah. For me, I'm going to speak about this in kind of like a more generic way because it was a really big thing. A lot of this for me was getting out of my own way. I think in 2024, it was like actually getting out of my own way and believing that I could take chances. Like, I think in general, that was a big theme for me in 2024. Yeah. But I think if I were to pick like standout things, it would be our first Glitter and Gators was just, I could have cried the entire day. Like it was like, I felt so loved and seen and held and like supported. It was such a beautiful thing. And then you and I getting to like create this space together, huge for me. And then I think the other standout moments would be the launch parties. I know I said I was going to talk too much about deck stuff, but I have to.
Because but that's so that was so big. And like again, it's about being held and supported. Like, you know, I remember the UJT one, and then the Sassy Dragons was like 2 minutes. It was it was so big, and so it had to have been, I mean, like sort of overwhelming in a good way, but like just being in a moment with so many people and seeing things come into fruition is so huge.
It's like we've spent so many years on YouTube doing this thing, right? And we sort of have found this like community that we get to be a part of, and I'm so grateful for it all the time. But these things like the Glitter and Gators launch, the launch parties for the Kickstarters, it's not about who went and backed the decks, just so I'm clear. Like that wasn't it.
Yeah, that's not.
There were so many people there celebrating with us and holding space for us. And I think for me, like I talked about this a little bit in a video recently. I can't remember which one, but I talked about how like the Sassy Dragons launch especially sort of healed something in me I didn't know needed healing. Like just to see the community show up like that for Peggy. Like both Peggy and I have had a lot of loss in our lives, a lot of estrangement, a lot of like separation.
Yeah.
And so found family, found community is so healing and amazing. So just so grateful for all of the times that I got to spend time in community. Like that's going to be my standout from 2024, no matter what.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I totally agree. You know, especially with Glitter and Gators, you know, launching and things like that, that is a standout memory because it was just like,
it's so special.
So verklempt. Like you guys. Yeah. Y'all just came in clutch. Like, we love being here and hanging out, but like, it's so made when you have people who genuinely want to be here with you just to enjoy each other's company with no strings attached. There's nothing, we don't want anything from you. You don't want
Yeah.
anything from us, really. Like, it's just a safe place to hang out and enjoy ourselves. And it was just so much fun. I think for me, another standout moment, like for me this year, I think it was more so, how do I describe it? It was almost like shifts in reality for me, like things
Yeah.
that, I don't know, just changed my perspective and the way that I thought about life, and things that changed so dramatically. And I think one of the main memories that stand out in my head was getting to go. We went to Jacob and I went to Oklahoma, um, to Whitesboro for our anniversary. But it wasn't just
Oh
like, hey,
yeah.
let's go on a vacation. We went to the middle of the woods where we barely had even Wi-Fi, you
Yeah.
know? And we got to totally reset in a beautiful space, where it was kind of like unplugging and
Yeah.
resetting, and just kind of, I don't know, it was like being in the woods. People say forest bathing, it
Yes. Oh my
was,
God.
it was, it was probably one of the highlights of my year,
Yeah.
just from being able to go hiking. And we sat outside all day every day, we sat by the fire, we went, it was just having that moment of peace and quiet where no one needed anything from you,
Yeah.
nobody needed your attention. And
Yeah.
it's like we forget how important that is. And like, one more, because I'm like super proud of this, like I got
Yes.
my garden going, I've been growing shit, I've
Girl.
been canning things and baking things, and like, those are the kind of things where just kind of resetting and reevaluating the speed at which I take life
Yeah. Oh, that is such a
was
beautiful way to
really
express that.
reevaluated
Yeah.
this year, and it was so much fun.
Yeah. I feel like you got to do a lot of healing this year. I feel
I
like there were
did.
so many opportunities to sort of find yourself. And I think it's interesting because, some of this is, I think, age and time, but I think there's a point in our lives where we kind of look back and we're like, we've lost ourselves along the way a little bit. And I think one of the
Yeah.
things I am so proud of you for is how committed you were to digging through everything you had to dig through to find you again. I
Yeah.
I know. That was a big thing,
It
and
was a
it's
big
not easy
thing.
work. Yeah.
Mm-mm. And it's like I still find myself digging, but I think that's the best place to be in, because
Yeah,
like the more
always.
you dig, the more you find, and the more you realize, and the more you can shift. Is it
Yeah.
easy? No.
No.
But is it worth it?
Hell
Almost
yeah.
always.
Yeah, hell
Almost
yeah.
always.
And it's very confronting stuff to do, but I think like we get caught up in like the day to day and like the expectations and the way we think we're supposed to show up. And somehow in all of those layers of like how we're supposed to show up and how we think people expect us to be and all these things, we almost shrink
We
inside. And
do.
so then you have to kind of learn how to get big from the
Get
inside again,
get
you
big.
know?
And it's so crazy because like, I don't know about you, but like, and I mean, we all go through these like ups and downs kind of places in life. Like, there was a time and a space where I was not afraid to be loud and vibrant and stand in who I was, how I was, and everything, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then it's like you slowly start turning in and getting smaller and smaller
Yeah.
and smaller and
Yeah.
smaller, until things happen and you no longer know how to deal,
Yeah.
because you are no longer big and boisterous and confident. You are small and timid and afraid. And so it's
Yeah.
like, how to shift that back. And like, it's a process. It's a day-to-day kind of thing. And it's like finally being able to start to shift that space backward. And again, pace of life
Yeah.
is so, like, how do I describe, it's like it's so much more of a thing than I think we realize.
Yeah. It totally is. In fact, I feel like I've had so many conversations with friends this year about hustle culture, about the feeling of our worth being tied to how much we produce or how much we succeed or what we accomplish or how much money we make or whatever. And I feel like it's so easy, especially nowadays, to get so caught up in life being about that. Life being about what
What you
boxes you
produce,
tick off. Yeah, what you
content.
produce. Yeah. And
And
I
that
think
doesn't have
that's
to
just
mean social media either, you
no.
know?
That's
Like,
even just like being at your job and like how many milestones do you achieve? How far up the ladder can you climb? And I was talking to
climb.
Peggy about this just the other day. I was like, you know what? I have never been somebody who wants to just keep taking it to the next level. It I told her, I was like, the moment, like, I like to create and build things that feel like they help or heal or serve a purpose or come from a real place. The moment I'm doing something just to tick a box is the moment it dies for me.
It
Like,
does.
and that's the thing. Like, I feel like with YouTube and with, venturing into like debt creation and writing and all these kinds of worlds that I've been exploring and like just freaking loving, it's all that. Like, the moment it becomes about that pressure to produce is the moment I will step the hell off and y'all I'll be like, okay, bye. But
Bye. It's
that's why I don't
so
make it
true.
about that, because yeah, you get caught up in it and it takes over.
Yeah. And it's like, I think we also lose perspective of like, and you hear so many people saying that, like, I used to love this.
Yeah.
I used to love this. And now
Yeah.
because it burns out, because it's so, like, is it pressured? In ways, but we allow
Yeah.
ourselves to be pressured
It's
into the shoulda, woulda,
internal.
couldas. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's a lot of it is internal. It's what we do to
It's
ourselves.
super internal.
Yeah.
Oh, well, these people are doing this, so I need to be doing this. And these people are achieving that. I need to achieve that. And it's like, I
Yeah.
really went through so many phases in life where, like, no, there was a time, we had moved away. I was in the oil field. I made the money and I had the house and I had the cars and I had the bags and I had this, and I fucking hated it.
Yep.
I hated it.
Yeah.
It felt so, and I'm not saying that this is the same for everybody and that you should like forget
Mm-mm.
all that. I'm just
No.
saying, for me, that's where I lost myself. And I
Mm-hmm.
became real steeped in that hustle culture and things like that. And it's like, it was a huge adjustment to go backwards and to come back. And now that we've been back almost 10 years,
Yeah.
I still feel like I'm relearning how to slow down, and even more so now, kind of
Yeah.
going back to, um, the here and now. And I just think that that's beautiful. And I see so many people doing the same things. And like, I can't help but encourage, like, I don't know if you guys have seen the TikTok or Instagram whole thing about the Birkin bags right now, the Walmart Birkin bags. Have you heard about this? Like,
No.
people being up in arms. Well, some people being up in arms because Walmart now has a dupe Birkin bag and it looks just like it. And this is bullshit. And like, I'm carrying around a $13,000 purse and somebody asked me if I got it at Walmart. Good, bitch. It doesn't matter how much you pay for it.
No, do
Like,
you like it or do you just like it because it's expensive? Like,
exactly. Then what's
what's
the
the
point? Like,
point?
it's
Yeah.
those kind of things where like I'm starting to see a shift and a turn, and like I'm living for it.
Yeah.
I'm
I
living
mean,
for it.
I feel like that kind of stuff you get caught up in is it's so toxic at the end of the day, to get caught up in like just trying to like measure up. Like,
Yeah.
and this is the thing I think I really had to confront this year, was realizing how easy it is for me to slip into my value being tied to how hard I'm working. I have to like legit pull myself back from that edge constantly, because I'm
Same.
like, oh, if I'm not working for it, I don't deserve it.
I don't
If I
deserve
am
it.
not stressed out, if I'm not crying over it, then I don't deserve it. And so
If I am
success
not
has to be
productive,
painful.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, for me, it's like, if I'm not productive, I'm a piece of shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm
And
really trying to disconnect from, you know?
it's like we're deprogramming ourselves in a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
So
It's
like
even things
having
like
being
learning
able
how
to
to like, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was like, that's one of those things where like it is such a huge thing from like this year where it's like I started to shift into that, and like I hope it continues into next year because like I want to continue down that path.
Yeah. For me, it's even just like learning that it's okay to like, I don't know, skip a video slot. Like in my brain, I make videos on these days. So I've gotten a lot better about like, you know what? It's not the right time, not in the mood to film, not gonna do it. It's okay. Everybody will still be okay with me. Like I'm
Yep.
not like less than. That's such a silly example, but it's so on point for what this feeling is.
It's so true. And it's like putting on a mask. It's like, do you want, and like, I'm like that. And it's like, sometimes I come on, I did a member video one day where I got on and I'm like, I'm not feeling it today. So we're going to put some cards and we're going to try to make it feel better. Because like, I don't want to put on a mask and pretend like I'm fine.
Same. Yeah.
I'm not going to do that. Like, I've done it for years. I've done it for so long. And that's not fair because people don't need to see happy and shiny all the time when that's not what it is. We need to talk about those reality points and, you know, how those things can help and, you know, different aspects and different avenues, and to know that you're not alone.
Yeah, 100%. You know? And I think sometimes we all need to give each other permission too, through example of like, it's okay to slow down. It's okay to do less. Like, and like somebody just, who said this? Allison Drake, sometimes it's just as productive to do nothing. By the way, the comments are freaking gold.
Oh my God, they are gold.
Because this is the thing. It is productive to practice self-care. It is productive to care for your relationships. It's productive to make time for play and for fun and for the things that nourish your soul, whether it's reading a book or watching a trashy romance movie or whatever. Like these things are all productive, but we get it in our heads. It's like we've tied that word to like work. It has to be work for pay or work for other people's pleasure, like, or entertainment or whatever. Like,
and you know, I bump up against this, and like sometimes I'll talk about it when I'm talking about like my grimoires or, you know, whatever you want to call them, and my art books or whatever, where it's just like doing something that you love doesn't have to have a value to anyone else but you.
Exactly.
It doesn't have to be quote unquote worth something.
No.
No.
And that's the thing, is it almost ruins it sometimes. Like
it does.
I have to stay very aware of this because I've had that experience before with something I love. If it becomes a thing that's now performative, or like I feel like I have to show up a certain way to do this thing, it can ruin it. It's why I'm so conscious of it with YouTube specifically, because I love this space. So I'm like, if it starts feeling obligatory, or if it starts feeling like I'm just going through the motions, I pull back, I change something, I shift it, I shake it up. And I think that's so important with stuff that we love. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So having said that, we talked about self-care. Why don't we talk about some beauty, some self-care?
Yeah.
What were your favorites this year? What
okay. You're not going to be surprised by this at all, because I have been
banging Danny's ear. I already know where it's going.
I discovered my hair. I have had poofy hair for years and years and years, and I had no idea, truly, that I had natural like waves and curls in my hair. Like, I am not curling my hair. I did not get a perm. I just learned how to like take care of it. And I went to Dani. I was like, what do I do? Because like I had started playing a little bit. And it's funny because when I got my hair cut really short, I remember going into the salon and being like, somehow when my hair is short enough, this is what I said, because this is the one thing I did know. If my hair is short enough or has enough like layers, it starts to look a little curly, maybe. So like so I kept telling her, no, shorter, more layers, shorter, more layers. Because I was trying to find it.
Yeah.
And because I thought it had to be short, and I thought it had to have a certain haircut. And a lot of it was just learning. So I went down the whole rabbit hole with like the curly girl method and like trying to figure that. And I'm not doing the curly girl method exactly, but like I got a lot of tips. Oh my God, it's a lot. I got a lot of tips. And then I went to Dani. I was like, okay, I'm trying this shampoo and like this conditioner and like all this stuff. But my favorite thing is actually, this story is this product. It's called Recoil. It's by AG. This is a Vancouver company. The funny story about this is that this is where my journey began, because I had a tube of this when I was telling my hairdresser, I'm like, I just want to bring out my natural like texture in my hair or whatever. I said, but I hate product. I don't want to put any product in my hair. She's like, just try this one thing. So she gave me the Recoil in this, like, it was like a tube. It's almost done now. This is my replenish, my restock. And so she's like, just put a little bit of this in. It'll be fine. And then I didn't. I took it home. I still bought it. I took it home. I used it like once. I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. But then fast forward like a year for whenever I got my photo shoot done for my book, that was when my hair was cut.
Yeah.
And I started looking into it and I decided to just try it. And all I did was like wash my hair and like scrunch dry it basically.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is this? And I was like gliding Dani. I'm like, look,
She's like,
where did
where's
this come
that?
from? What is this?
Look at this. Where's it? I'm like, girl, that's your curl pattern. Like, look at my, like, y'all, this is not, and like, for real, this is not perm. This is like, when you saw my hair straight back in the Gap, that was a lot of work. Okay.
Yeah.
And it never worked. Now, granted, don't look at it too close. It's frizzy today. No. But it's like, once you find that curl pattern, and you know, my hair was so damaged, and with my weight loss, I lost a lot of hair. So I'm trying to like revive all that shit. But like, finding that curl pattern and just like allowing your hair to do whatever it wants to do is just like the coolest shit, because you never know what's going to come out. And it's like, it's true. Products can be, I'm definitely one. I don't like a whole lot of hullabaloo, like mousse, hair lotion, maybe a little bit of oil, which I do have one to show. But like, yeah. And I've loved watching, I get a hair update at least a few times a week. And it's my favorite thing because she's been trying to work it all out. But that recoil has probably been one of the best things in your hair.
This is the best thing because like I do layer things. Like I now do, like I use like a leave-in conditioner and like whatever. I've played around with gels and mousses, and like I have a favorite gel now and I have a favorite mousse now. But I can use just this as long as I'm a little bit generous with this. I can use just this and like basically dry my hair and it will hold. It won't hold for days and days. I need like a little bit of gel. But like it's even things like whenever I put gel in my hair when I was like, or whenever anybody would put gel in my hair when I was like in high school or whatever, your hair turns into like helmet head. Like it's so hard. I didn't know that what you can do is actually scrunch it out.
So see, when I was in high school, like the big thing was like, what was it called? LA Gear?
Oh my God.
Or LA Looks or something like that.
LA Looks. It was like that neon 90s like geometry blocks on the design.
And it was just like gel. And I hate, like, no offense to anyone who does this. My sister-in-law is like famous for like the almost like wet curl look. That's not my jam. Because I don't like it's a texture thing for me. I can't.
My hair has to be soft.
My hair has to be soft.
Yeah.
It has to be soft. And so when I was young, that's when I figured it all out, because I would put it in and I'm like, this is awful. And then I would just like,
yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is good. And I went through a whole phase in high school where like, I was telling that to Lisa the other day, I didn't brush my hair at all.
Yeah.
I wash it, hands through, gel or mousse, call it a day. Guess what I'm doing still? Gel, mousse, hair lotion, and calling it a day.
Yeah. Somebody asked about our shampoo and conditioner. I am currently using Mark Anthony Strictly Curls from the drugstore. But because I love this product so much, I have, as soon as I finish those up, I'm going to be using the AG. There's like I forget which ones, but they're for curly hair. There's one that's like clarifying like apple cider vinegar or something like that, and then a conditioner, I think. Yeah. What about you?
What I use normally, because my husband's a hairdresser, so he'll get all the good stuff at a lower price.
She's a lucky bitch. That's what she's about to say. Yeah.
That's what I'm about to say. Yeah. I'm fucking lucky. Because I would not be spending this on my hair. I'm going to be quite honest. But he will grab me the Moroccan oil. So I do either the curl enhancer or the hydration one, because my hair is thirsty, girl. Yeah, it's always thirsty. Curly hair has a lot of tendency to be thirsty. So I use that. But like one of my favorite beauty products this year I got recently, somebody had talked about rosemary is really good in the hair. This right here, I got it on Amazon for like $12. And I find that like it's one that you kind of rub into your scalp and stuff like that. And I have like a tendency to be really dry. Like my scalp has not been dry. It doesn't cause my hair to be real weird. And it's actually starting to like thicken up and poof out. So yeah, Moroccan oil, shampoo and conditioner is what I use, and then I use that. But then like I'll use again the Moroccan oil. They have a mousse that I use. They have a hair lotion. I usually mix those two in my hair every time I do it, and then they have a hair oil that, depending upon how good the crunch is, I'll put a little bit in my palm and then I'll work it in there, and then that's how I break up my curls so they don't frizz out as much. Now this is a couple of days out, and if the humidity
you got a
is
lot of
bad,
definition in there still, though. You got a ton of definition in there.
If it's really humid outside, like yesterday I was out in the rain, and so I pulled this down. My hair looked super, super short because I don't know if y'all can see, but like my curls kink up pretty hardcore.
Yeah, you got much tighter pattern than I do.
Yeah, they will tighten. And so I have to kind of like,
loosen them
humidity will tighten all my stuff. But like, yeah, those are some of my favorites. And yeah, any other things for beauty?
I mean, that's the big thing. And then, of course, I'm always obsessed with nail polish. These are two of my favorites from 2024 from Mooncat. This is like brand loyalty right now. Like, this is like almost all I wear. But these two were standouts from the year. This one is called Moonicorn, and it's so pretty. There's another shade I got that's very similar called Petals for a Narcissist that I love, that I got back in like February. I freaking love it. And then this one is called, oh my God, I need my reading glasses, Merkitten. And it's like a pink with a purple flash. Oh my God.
That flash is like they have the best.
Nobody does. Yeah, nobody does special effects polishes, I think, like Mooncat does. They're just incredible. So these are two of my favorites, and they were more recent. I would say got these like second half of the year. But whatever I'm wearing, it's 99% of the time it's Mooncat that I'm wearing. There's a few others. I have some Zoya polishes, and I have a few Holo Taco, and I have a couple of that I got from like indie nail polish brands. But like, I continuously go back to this brand over and over and over and over and over again. It's incredible. I love them so much. But no, honestly, it's been the absolute obsession with my hair. Absolutely. Yeah. And it's everything from like changing my towel to like I don't use terry cloth towels to dry my hair anymore. I use like a really smooth, silky microfiber. It's called the Perfect Hair Care Towel. It's incredible. Has like lets you pull it up in a turban. It's amazing. So good. And like just sleeping on silk and like not brushing my hair dry and like all these things that I've like learned how to do. But it's felt like the best thing. It feels like I think it's like learning to paint my own nails. Felt like such a self-care ritual. And I think now like discovering my hair and feeling like I'm just like bringing out what it is naturally. Now when my hair is like dry and poofy, I'm like, oh, that's how it used to look all the time. And I thought that was my hair.
Yeah, you really do. You
now I'm excited.
And like there was a hot minute. There were years where I had I literally lost my curl pattern. Like I lost it. And then, especially like when I had linen, my whole hair texture changed. Yeah. And like the only part of my hair that would curl was this part right here.
The under? Yeah, I have my tightest ones under here.
Wouldn't do anything. And so, yeah, it's like once I was able to get that curl pattern back, I'm just like, y'all can have it. This is my hair from now.
Yeah, this is what it is. Yep.
The only other thing that I have to say is probably one of my favorite things that I got, and that is this.
Ooh, what is that? Is that a scent?
So this is a perfume oil.
Oh, I love perfume oils. Santal and cardamom.
I have gotten more compliments on this because I used to wear the amber oil, which I love.
Yeah, I could see that.
But this one is probably even better. Like I'm a musky kind of girl. Like not in a weird like you smell like dirty laundry musky, but like
yeah, bottle that.
Bottle it. Smell like it. Dirty laundry. No. This kind of oil is probably one of my favorites that I've had, and like I'm obsessed. It smells so good. It stays because it's oil based. And so like it makes my skin soft, I love it. That's one of my favorites.
I use those what's it called? I forget the brand. They're like the little, somebody got me on them I think last year. But they're fragrance oils. Why why am I blanking? Black
We
Phoenix Alchemy Labs.
Yes, I was like, we just
Pal.
talked about that. Yeah.
But you know what's funny? That those are also oils. I learned this trick. I have not tried it yet, but since we're both using oil-based, we both should try this and just see if it works. But a little bit of Vaseline on your wrists or wherever you're putting it, and then put your fragrance oil, because it'll stay and stay and stay and stay, apparently. But what I like about fragrance oils is they're always like a little closer. Like with perfumes, when you spray them and stuff, like it's like for everybody.
Yeah.
But I feel like with fragrance oils, it's the people that get closest to you can smell it, but it's not like, I don't know, it doesn't feel as,
It's not overpowering. Like
the cloud is smaller.
It's cloud is
closer
smaller.
to your
Like I
body.
went to do something with my truck the other day. And like I was standing next to the girl that was like checking me in and getting all my keys and stuff, and she was like, What are you wearing?
Yeah, I love
and I was like, I didn't even smell it anymore. But like, you know how they used to say, like, oh, well, you perfume your skin. And it's like we got away from that. We just been spraying stuff, but it's like to literally perfume your skin has now like become my thing.
Yep. It feels really good. I love picking. I'm very much I'm not loyal. I'm not scent loyal. I'm like, I have so many different scents, and I just love, like, what am I in the mood for? What's my vibe today? Or like putting on something really like dark and mysterious if I want to be in my power, or like something really sweet and fluffy if I'm like wanting to be in a playful, I love doing that kind of thing. I love playing with scent in that way, in a very not serious kind of way. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've done a bit of that this year too.
I love that.
Love it. So good.
Okay. Wow. We did that one. What about this? You watch any TV?
Oh, there's two things I think I wrote down. Oh yeah. I'm gonna call it TV because I spent so many, probably hundreds of hours watching it this year. Critical Role on YouTube. Constant, my comfort thing. I'm actually kind of weird. Like, I don't know what to do with myself now because I caught up. Like, I've been watching Critical Role is like a bunch of voice actors that get together and they play Dungeons and Dragons on YouTube. It's grown to be quite an enterprise, but
it sounds like
their
it's
campaigns,
so
each individual time at the table that they record is like around 4 hours. So their current campaign, they're on episode like 118 or something. I started at the beginning and I'm caught up now. Wow. So I've watched 400 and some odd hours of Critical Role in the last year or so. And now I don't know what to do with myself, because like I will put it on while I'm like playing a cozy game on my Switch or whatever. And so I'll always have it playing pretty much. And now that I'm caught up, I'm like, now what do I do? I could start one of their older campaigns, but I'm like, I don't want to get sucked in.
I know. Another one. I do that with my podcast. And like now, like I'm a patron of Last Podcast. So they also do the videos. So I'll listen, and then like there are days I'll throw it up on my TV and I watch them.
Yeah, I love podcasts you can watch. Yeah,
yeah,
it's amazing. Like actual TV shows. I discovered, thanks to a friend, Unicorn Academy, and it is everything the little and me needed in life. It's so sweet and so cute, and nobody's gonna be surprised that I'm watching it. But I've been watching Unicorn Academy. That'd be the actual show. But other than that, I'm rewatching Buffy again, as I do. I will probably rewatch Gilmore Girls again, as I do. But those are basically my shows.
Your shows.
I mean, and in fairness, just to defend myself slightly on Critical Role, I do usually watch it on double speed until it gets really exciting, and then I'll slow it down. But like most of the time.
Yeah.
So it's like half that. I've just watched that many hours worth of. I don't think I've spent that many hours, I hope. But it's possible.
Listen, in 2019, I guarantee you I swear, I know it's 2,000 hours listening to podcasts. So I can't say shit. Like, no, I can't. So, no. But like, for me, I don't watch that much TV. I don't watch that many movies. I'm like you. I like something that I can put on in the background. So that's why I watch my little things and I listen to my podcast. But I would have to say, like, this year, I tried going back. I tried to think. I'm like, is there anything that I like watched? And the only thing I can think of that had like, it was like mini series. I did watch recently the Infield Poltergeist. So if you guys don't know what that is, it's based on, oh no, I'm sorry. It's called the Infield Haunting. It's usually called The Infield Poltergeist. Matter of fact, one of the Conjurings was based on that. I think it was the second one. But I've listened to probably 3 or 4 different podcasts that covered it. They recently did a mini series that has Wormtail in it. What's his name? Tom.
Oh, I'm terrible with actor names. No help.
It's the one that played Wormtail in Harry Potter. The one that played in Sweeney Todd. Oh God, what was his name? He was the judge's minion in Sweeney Todd. Anyway, he's a famous British actor. He was in there. He was fantastic. I think I watched another mini series, but like for sure I watched that one. But I'm rarely a TV person anymore. I usually don't have it on.
Yeah, and like YouTube or audiobooks or something. But
me too. Yeah, that's usually where I'm at.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't have much as far as that goes, but that was really good. They did a really good job. It was really interesting. They followed like the kids. You like really it was really enjoyable. And then like you like rewatching, like I usually rewatch Hyacinth at least once a year.
Hyacinth, is that a TV show?
Keeping Up Appearances. It's from the 90s. I have it like I have the full season on DVD.
God. That's amazing. I love that so much.
So
yeah, I have all of
that
Buffy on DVD.
Yeah. That's always a favorite of mine.
I love it.
And then of course
comfort show.
Yeah, that's my comfort show is Keeping Up Appearances. I swear I laugh every time. I can rewatch it a million times. I can probably recite every episode. Don't care. Love it. Love it.
Timothy Spall, is that who you were thinking of?
I think so, yes. Yes. Boom.
That guy.
Yeah, he was so good. He was so good in there. Okay. Now, in the same vein, what about movies?
I literally racked my brain on this. And I'm sure I've seen more than one movie this year, like out of the house, but maybe not. It was oh my God, who's the goofy superhero? Deadpool. Deadpool 3. That was such a fun movie. I laughed my ass off the entire time. It's so ridiculous and so funny. Totally gonna watch it again, I'm sure.
I want to watch it so bad.
I can't believe you haven't seen it. Once it's streaming or whatever, you've got to
I've got to. I love Deadpool. So funny. I love Deadpool. He's hilarious. He's my main
nonstop. Guy. Like the one complaint literally about Deadpool 3 versus Deadpool 2 is that the references and the little jokes or cracks or whatever, it's so nonstop, start to finish, the whole movie. It's nonstop. It's hilarious. But that was what I loved about it, because like Peggy has followed and the kids have followed the Marvel stuff forever, so I follow it by default. I'm the kind of person, like, if typically if somebody wants to go see a movie, I don't care what it is, I'm usually pretty good to be like, I just like going to the movies. But Peggy's way pickier, so we end up like, so she'll like the Marvel stuff, some of it, so typically that's what we'll end up seeing at the theater. But I really want to see Wicked. Have you seen Wicked?
Okay, I saw the play, like I saw the Broadway show.
I've never seen the play. Dallas. I've never read the book. Nothing.
The book is my favorite, and so I have a lot of trouble with the play
musical. The musical.
I keep calling it before with the musical because
it's darker, right?
It's so much darker.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie. The first time, like, and you know, my friend tried to warn me when we went in Dallas. She's like, "We gotta."
Oh no. Uh-oh. Did Dani freeze for everybody or just for me? Or am I frozen? I'm not sure. Somebody better tell me. Uh-oh. It might be just me. Okay, it's not just me. Dani froze. Okay, cool. While she gets that sorted out. Okay, I'm not frozen. Well, sometimes it's my internet. So if it's my internet, then I'm actually frozen, but it looks like she's frozen, so I had to check. So she'll probably have to refresh her stuff. But in the meantime, I will like riff on what she was saying, because like what I've heard, I have not read the book. I lent the book to my son because I had a copy. I think I got it at a library sale or something. I hadn't read it yet, lent it to my son. He read it. He loved it. And so he's like, I really want to see the movie. And he said, is the movie based on the book or the musical? I said, I think it's based on the musical. And what I've heard is that the musical is not super true to the book. So I think the book is darker and more like gritty, is my understanding from what I'm pretty sure it was Danny telling me this privately before. So I feel like I knew that this was coming. But I do want to see it. I think I don't know. I've heard good things. But I also haven't seen the Barbie movie, and everybody was talking about the Barbie movie for a while. I still haven't seen that. I should probably watch that at some point. It seems like the kind of thing I would really like too. I very rarely make time to either stream shows or movies, probably because I was too busy watching Critical Role and that kind of thing. Artemisian says, I really want to get into all the Wicked things I've not seen. Same. But I kind of almost feel like now I kind of feel like I should watch the musical or the movie, because based on the musical, and then maybe read the book after. That's kind of what I'm thinking right this second. I hope Daddy's coming back. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't want to run this show by myself. Please go see Wicked. I bet you would really enjoy it. Yeah. So I'm thinking if I see Wicked, I might just wait till it's streaming, because getting out to the theater is a time commitment. I don't know that I have, but I feel like if I watch the book after, like typically if I've heard from people that the movie and the book are too different, I think it's a better experience to like watch the movie and then read the book. I did that with Discovery of Witches. Well, I watched the show and then I read the book. The book is dark and heavy, but good. Yeah. Artemisian, I just very rarely watch TV or movies. Yeah. I always mean to and then get sidetracked and suddenly it's bedtime. Like, legitimately, this is always my issue. This is always my issue. Okay, I'm just making sure. Poor Dani. She's having internet issues. I haven't seen Barbie either, but I did see Wicked and enjoyed, but never read the book. Yeah, I think if you've never read the book, it's better. It starts streaming on the 31st of like December or January, because if it's December, that's very soon. And I have Disney Plus, so is that where it's coming? Is it coming to Disney Plus? Now I want to look it up. Oh my God. Crows are out there on my balcony having a meal. Welcome back.
Hold on, you can hear me.
Oh, yes.
I was trying to get on my phone, and then everything started coming up. I'm like, are we in retrograde? Because stop.
Dani, I hate to break it to you, but I think your house is held in retrograde.
I really do think so. Listen,
Yeah.
we're about to start getting fiber, like our Cajun broadband. Yeah, that's what it's called, Cajun broadband, because we're a bunch of coonasses. We gotta name everything after ourselves. So Cajun broadband is coming in our area. So like, listen, I'm about to give me some new intranets. But anyway,
that would be amazing.
So yeah, Wicked, it's amazing, but like I like the dark stuff. I want to see a real, like Gregory Maguire version.
Yeah, you want one based on the book.
It was so dark. Like there were and I was really excited. Like I know y'all probably talking about all kind of stuff, but I gotta say this. Like when I first went to see the play, okay, and I don't know how it is in the movie, but like it starts out, and I was really excited. Right?
Oh no!
Dark. We had like the whole setting was just like beautiful, and I was like, "Oh, we about to get in it." And then it was just like, popular, and I was like, "Oh, what is this?" Totally different. So yeah, I haven't seen Wicked. Now I heard it's really good. I heard all kinds of really great stuff, but I think you have to be a fan of the musical. Or a fan of the book. I think it's really tough to be both. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I think it is kind of hard to be both. It like if they're different enough. I've heard that before about other things. Funny enough, I always felt like Harry Potter was one of the things that did a really good book to movie adaptation. I feel like it was really good considering.
It did up to Order of the Phoenix.
That tracks, yeah. That tracks.
Once you hit Order of the Phoenix, if you don't know the books, you miss out on a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm still a huge fan of the movie franchise as well. So don't get me wrong. But you're reading the books right now, right? First time?
No, not first time. No.
You've read
Like,
through all of them already?
oh yeah, I've read through the whole
Okay.
series multiple times. Yeah.
It's just the audio you haven't read.
It's just
Like
the
you haven't
audio
listened.
I've never done.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So I'm listening
Yeah.
to the audiobooks now. Yeah.
I love
And
the
having a great
audiobooks.
time. It's so good. And
Yeah.
like the voices are so good. And I think you can tell that the person who, I don't know which version I told you at one point, but there's two different narrators that are really
There's
popular.
two.
I can't remember which one it's the other one from you. That's all I remember. So whatever one is your favorite, I'm listening to the other one. But what's interesting is that he's doing voices a little bit like almost voice actory. And it's great because you can tell he's kind of channeling the voices from the movies, if that makes sense.
Are you
Like
listening to Stephen
McGonagall
Fry?
sounds, I think so. I can tell you. Hold
Okay,
on.
I
It's
listened to
on
the other
hold.
one and I wasn't like the other one was great, but the way he did Hermione's voice, me and my brother used to make fun of it. We'd like message each other back and forth and be like,
Yeah.
making fun of Hermione's voice. That was the only one that I was just like, no. But like they're really, really good. So yeah.
No, Jim Dale. Jim Dale. I'm listening to Jim Dale.
Okay, so that might be the one that me and Chance listened to. He
Yeah,
did a
maybe.
really great job. Now I listen on 2 times speed, so sometimes when she's like, Harry, I'm just like, it just sounds weird.
I haven't gotten I'm like early enough that there hasn't been a ton of dialogue yet. We're just past the troll incident in
Yeah, this
book
I think
one.
that more goes towards some of the later books
Yeah, that would track.
where it
So
kind of
far
gets
it
a
doesn't
little
seem like a
heavier.
lot. But I just love like McGonagall and some of these other characters and the way that they're being voiced. It's pretty great.
Me
Yeah,
too.
I
It's so
pretty love it.
great.
Yeah. Yep.
So I think for me, my movie, I didn't again, don't watch a lot. But I have a few that I want to talk about because I mostly don't watch really, honestly, many movies anymore. I used to be an incredible movie fanatic. Jacob doesn't care much for movies, so like if I'm watching something, I usually watch it by myself. Or like
Yeah.
somebody else might be in the room, but like I'm watching it by myself. So Halloween is usually when I start with my movies. So I watch
Ah,
Halloween
yes.
movies through. But this year, I want to say it was this year, Saltburn. Was that this year?
I feel like you talked about it this year for sure because
I think
I
so
know that.
too.
I would have forgotten if it was.
I think so. But for the first time, I watched the Terrifier movies. Now I haven't watched the third one that was in theaters this year, but I did watch the first and second. I was very reluctant to watch them because I was like, this is gonna be dumb. I don't know if I'm gonna like this kind of horror. But it harkened back to like Freddy Krueger and
Really?
things like that, where it's like, this is a good villain. It's kind of torture, P word.
Oh.
I'm not going to say the PORN word, but because I don't want to get flagged. But it's kind of like that in some places. But like, what good slasher isn't, right? Like, if you go in there knowing that you're watching a slasher film, you expect to have some gore, right?
Yeah.
But I really liked the weirdness of it. I was really surprised. It genuinely surprised me. I thought I was going to think it was trash.
But you didn't? You didn't think
But
it
I
was trash?
didn't. I did.
Good, good.
I enjoyed it. And then one more that I want to talk about was the last one that I watched, which was literally like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
I've been having it on my little list. I was like, I'm gonna eventually watch it. I'm gonna eventually watch it. But I watched Saint Maud. Have you heard of that?
Mm-mm.
It was really good.
Is it a scary movie? Thriller? Psychological thriller?
Sort of like basically
And what's it called? Saint Maud?
Saint Maud, Maud. Okay. And so the basic premise is we see this girl. She's obviously changed her name. Stuff has happened, but she's a home health nurse, reminiscent of the book I'm going to talk about. And like I
mean,
had to
this
be
looks
like,
scary. The poster looks scary. This
is
looks like a
this
scary
based on
movie to
that?
me.
But it's
I don't
not.
know.
It's very subtle. Especially for being like a religious horror. Like I did watch The Exorcist, believe I didn't like it. Original Exorcist only. But it was very subtle because the whole time you're wondering, like, is there something going on?
Huh. I might
Or
have to
is
watch
this
this one.
all in her head?
Oh, I like movies like that. I like ones that screw with your brain a little bit. I like
Yeah.
that.
Oh, Tara, did you watch it? It's so good. So Tara was just like, it was a masterpiece. You don't know until the last 3 seconds of the movie, and then you have no question as to what just happened. And that's
Well, I
all I'm
love
gonna
that.
say.
I
That's all
love
I'm
that.
gonna
I love
say.
that. Because the thing is, I like psychological thrillers. I like movies that disturb or unsettle or scare in that
Unsettle.
way. But I don't like gory horror slasher.
This is not scary.
Yeah.
This is
Like
unsettling. And it's just
unsettling.
like following this girl where you're like, you know something's wrong, but like you don't
Yeah.
know where that's coming from.
Like Girl on the Train. Did you ever watch
I
that?
read Girl on the Train.
I read and watched it.
Was it a good
And that
watch too?
I think so. I've got the worst memory. I think I enjoyed it. The book was good. But see, I like things like that where it's like it's not there's I don't know what genre that is. I don't know if I don't know what to call
Psychological
it, but
horror base or like
psycho
thriller.
yeah, like yeah, I guess that's where I like to be, or like stalker movies, or like where there's a threat, but the threat is a lot of how isn't always in your face.
Right. Where
I
it's
like that a
not
lot.
like,
Yeah.
yeah. It
Yeah.
was so good. Did I
Yeah.
watch Violent Nature? No, but I'm gonna put it on my list.
Oh boy.
Those are like I will watch horror movies or
Yeah.
thrillers, things like that. Those are like my main ones. I used to love comedy, but I'm going to be one of those people cuz I'm such a millennial. Everything is so PC nowadays. Every joke can't be just a joke anymore, that I find we lost a lot of comedy
We
in
did
the
lose a
way
lot of
that
comedy, I think.
I
Yeah.
love potty comedy. I want dicks and butt jokes. I want a poop joke. I want
Why have you not watched Deadpool? I'm so confused.
He's my favorite.
Your
I don't
priorities are
do
not in order.
Marvel. I don't do superheroes, but
Oh,
Iron Man and Deadpool are my little anti-heroes, and I love them
yes.
wholeheartedly. So, like,
Yes.
I will watch Deadpool. I will.
Yes.
Because that's my kind of shit. I'm a millennial. I want the Jay and Silent Bob, the Judd Apatow, the Seth
Beavis
Rogen.
and Butthead.
Bad.
Oh my god. That reminds me, I finally watched, oh, everybody's gonna know what this is called, and I just filmed a video where I could not think of it. There's all these movies. One of them is Kiki's Delivery Service. It's anime, uh, Howl's Moving Castle. There's a
Oh,
name for the
Studio
studio. Studio
Ghibli?
Ghibli. I went down. I literally did a Studio Ghibli movie marathon like
Really?
about a week ago or so. I watched all three. I watched Howl's Moving Castle, Kiki's Delivery Service, and what's the third one with the spirit thingies with the face? Somebody's gonna know
Oh,
in the chat.
they'll know in the chat. I've never
They'll
seen
know.
them. They'll
They were
know.
so cute. They were so cute. So I watched those. That was the other movie rabbit hole I finally went down, because people have been telling me for years, Lisa, you've got to watch these. Lisa, they were so cute.
They were.
Um, yeah,
The only
Studio
one
Ghibli.
I watched like that was the one with the little witch that rides the broom and she goes to the she has a little
That's
cat.
Kiki's. Yeah, that's Kiki's Delivery Service. Spirited Away. That's the other one I watched. So Spirited Away, Howl's Moving
Okay.
Castle. The funny thing about Howl's Moving Castle is I ended up spoiling myself because I was so confused. I've been reading Howl's Moving Castle, but I paused it to read something else this year that just consumed my whole life. So I put it on pause. I'm about halfway through the book, and then I was like, "Well, I'm just going to watch the movie." And it went in directions I did not see coming, and I was like, based on the book, I had no idea,
I had no
and I was
idea.
like, oh, that's where it's going. So now I want to finish the book.
Yeah.
But it was a slow book. I found the Studio Ghibli stuff is very cozy, but I find it a little slow, but still fun. Still fun. Very wholesome.
Well, then let's talk about books.
Oh, this is easy. Because I read it twice this year. I read Manacled twice this
Oh,
year.
we were talking about this the other day. Yes, Lisa, I do have it on my iPad. Yes,
Okay,
Tara,
good.
I did start it and I still haven't finished. I know.
Get it done. Oh my god. I just reread it the second time, and can I tell you? So I don't okay, so what I did is I finished it. This is for those that don't know, Manacled is a Handmaiden's Tale-esque story. And it is a Hermione fan fiction, so it's Draco and Hermione. It is a post-apocalyptic sort of situation where the whole premise is that the good guys lost the war, so bad guys in charge, and
That guy's in
it's
charge.
wild. But the places this book takes you, okay, this book is probably like 1,100 pages. Okay,
It
I
is.
finished it and then started it over again, and I have to tell you, the first read is one kind of an experience, and it is intense and it is amazing. The second read is equally amazing, just in a different way. And I don't think there's a lot of books where I can say that my second read was special, just as special as the first, but special in a different way. Because once you know all the things and you read it, everything hits different. Oh
I
God,
can't
it's
wait.
so good.
I
You
can't
have
wait.
to read it.
I got pretty far the first time, and then it kind of went away, and so I'm desperately trying to get back in. I think that's what I'm starting in
The thing is,
January.
it doesn't hook you right away. It's definitely a
It hooked
slow
me,
build.
but like,
Oh, did it?
because
Okay.
it did. She was in there. You got Umbridge being a whole ass bitch, and
Oh,
like I was
the
here
bad
for
guys
it.
are epic. I will say, for those of you who are curious, this book, the fan fiction, which you can put on your Kindle device and stuff,
Yeah,
but the fan fiction is, I think, going to be coming off of the internet sometime in the next year. I am not an expert in any of this, but I think it's going to be coming off the internet in the next year because she's got a traditional publishing book contract for the same story, but obviously not in this world. So it's been reworked. It's called Alchemized, and I think it's due out in 2025 sometime. Tara and I were talking about it. Did you say 2025? Yeah. It's a fan fiction called Manacled, and it is a Draco Hermione. I hesitate to call it a romance. I mean, it is, but it's very dark. It's very dark.
romance.
Yeah, I would say dark romance, but it's more than that. I don't feel, when I'm reading this, I don't feel like it's, I guess I do feel like I'm reading romance, but oh man, it's just
Sort of. It's
stole
very
my
much
whole.
even from what I've read, like it just puts you in a whole, like being in Malfoy Manor, I guess, like that's where we are,
Yeah,
right?
you
It is
are
still
definitely spending
Malfoy
some time in
Manor.
there. Yeah.
That's where I was. Like I'm not going to spoil anything for anybody, but she was starting to go out and back.
Oh yes, I know where you are. Yeah.
Walking and
yeah.
I'm telling you, I was hooked. It literally was just one of those, like, life happened and I'm so ready to go back in. I'm so ready to dive back in.
There's such an interesting arc, but it's one of those time hop things. So you'll be in one time and then another time and then another time. Oh, so good. Anyway, really, 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 really good. I'm going to read Alchemized once it's out as well, but I'm so in love with these characters and the way that they show up. It's so good. But yeah, I've read it twice now. I just finished my second reread. Cried so much more on my second read than my first.
I can't wait.
So much more. So yeah, it's incredible.
Is that the only one you had?
Okay, you don't buy it. Yeah, that's the only one I have. You don't buy it, guys. If you're curious, yeah, you go to Archive of Our Own, which is where the fan fiction is hosted, and there's a way to, right on the website, you can basically download it, and then you just send the file to your
Kindle or
your Amazon
reader.
to your Kindle. Yeah, there's a thing on Amazon. You can literally upload things directly onto your Kindle if you go to your Amazon My Content page or whatever, and that's how you get it on there. And then you can read it on your Kindle. But it's fanfic, so it's totally free. Incredible. Barb, it takes you into a whole journey. Oh my God.
Read it. Barb, I'm telling you. I didn't finish it, but I'm telling you, read it. I think you're really going to like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, Dani, hit me.
Okay. Probably my favorite this year that I've read.
Yeah.
Is called The Only One Left. So let me, I had it pulled up. Where are you, boo? Right here. This is by Riley Sager. Sorry, of course, everything is slow here.
No, take your time.
The Only One Left.
Ooh.
Okay. Again, watching Maud, I was like, fam, what we doing? Because we're in kind of this same idea where there's a home health nurse that had a past. She's now, like, she was a nurse, she's going into home health, like there's like some different stuff, kind of, it's very similar.
Yeah.
But in this one, When I tell you the twists, the turns, and
I
my
love that.
brother well, okay, here's how it went. Me and my brother are the only ones that really read like that back and forth. And like, we're on certain levels of the same thing, but he had gotten into mysteries and like things like that. And I was like, Riley Sager, one of my favorite authors right now. Try that. Well, he got that one and he was like, I'm only like 30%. And like, I feel like I know what already is going on, like what's happening. And then it was like, oh my God, the twists, the turns. And I was like, okay, look, you sold me. I got to. It was so good. So we're in this like home health kind of situation. She goes and she lives with this person that needs her care. Then things start to unravel as to like what happened. It's very Lizzie Borden, okay? The woman that she's looking after, very Lizzie Borden. Do you know about Lizzie Borden?
I think so.
Lizzie Borden has this rhyme. Oh God, she gave her father or she gave her mother farty wax. I don't remember.
Oh, I know this rhyme. Yeah,
you know the one where like, and then she gave her whatever 41.
Yeah.
It's kind of like this woman who is sick and needs to be cared for. There is a rumor in this town, and it's very Lizzie Borden-esque. Okay. And so you're trying to figure out like what really happened.
Gotcha.
Did she do it? Did she not do it? Who did it? What are the players? And like you're unraveling stuff throughout the whole time. You're like, how is this going? Like, how does this still have 50% of the book left?
Like, yeah, like what? Like it seems so predictable, and then it's not.
Yes.
I love that shit.
It kept me on the edge of my seat. I devoured this book. And so I have to say, like, I was reading through my list of my books that I read this year, and that was the standout for me. It was so good.
Yeah. So good. I've got a book that I have not read
yet. There we go. Gave her mother farty wax. And when she seen what she had done, she gave her father 41. There we go.
Yeah. Yes. Took an axe. Yes.
There we go. Got it.
Oh, damn.
Oh,
The Boyfriend is a great read.
The Boyfriend is a great read. I accidentally clicked that one, but I'm gonna have to check it out.
I'm gonna look this up. I think I told you about it. I still haven't read it. I've just heard about it. I think it's called Murder in the Family. Yes, it's called Murder in the Family by Kara Hunter. I have this book. I have not read this book because it's not a Kindle read. It's definitely a physical. Well, it might be a Kindle read. I don't know. But it's like physical, but it's like one of those things, like, you know how Bram Stoker's Dracula is? Have you read it? Have you read okay. You know how you're kind of like,
I have not read it all. Like, I've been back and forth with it. It's a hard read.
Fair enough. But yeah, it's a little bit of a hard read. But you know how like the format of it is kind of like you're reading through like bits of evidence kind of thing. Okay. Murder in the Family is like that. It's like you're reading through. It's apparently the reason I want you to read it, even though I haven't read it yet, is because I'm pretty sure the format is in the book, they're basically podcast like true crime people, and they're unraveling this murder as you read through the book. So they're presenting all of their information, like all of their cases or whatever. I think that's the premise. In fact, here's what it says. Okay. Murder in the Family by Kara Hunter. So it says 6 episodes, 1 killer. And it says, it was a case that gripped the nation. In December 2003, Luke Ryder, the stepfather of acclaimed filmmaker Guy Howard, then aged 10, was found dead in the garden of their suburban family home. Luke Ryder's murder has never been solved. Everyone present around the time swears they saw nothing. Despite a high-profile police investigation and endless media attention, no suspect was ever charged. But some murder cases are simply too big to forget. Now comes the sensational new Netflix series Infamous, dedicated to investigating and perhaps cracking this famous cold case. The production team will examine testimony, re-interview witnesses, and once again scour the evidence. The family will speak. The key players will be reunited on camera. Oh, so it's a camera, not a podcast.
Oh, okay.
But the truth will come out. Are you ready to see it? But when you flip through this book, it looks like you're poring over the evidence. Does that make sense?
Evidence. So it's kind of like House of Leaves, where it's like an actual, like, you have, like, it feels like you have to, like,
you're reading. Yeah, like you're
reading
reading the
through it.
interviews and you're like going through all of the stuff. So that's why I think you'd be super into it. But
Oh
again,
yeah.
maybe look
I
it up, but
had
it's called
one
Murder
like
in the
that.
Family.
I had one like that it reminded me of. It's called The Patient by Jasper DeWitt. The Patient,
Yeah.
where you're reading patient file, like the files from the
Yeah.
psychiatrist. That was pretty good. I listened to that one in a day. I listened to that one.
Yeah, that kind of
But
stuff.
I do want to
Yeah.
have a honorable mention
Yes.
because the movie is coming out and I'm kind of excited to see how they're going to portray this. But it's called Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder.
Sorry, it's called When I
Where
Coughed. I'm so sorry.
it's okay. So Night Bitch is about a mother, well, about an artist who became a mother. Now she's kind of like stay-at-home mom. She's got a toddler, and she feels like she's slowly turning into a wolf, maybe.
Oh.
It's so visceral. It's so relatable. It's so good.
Yeah.
They're having a new movie coming out, so I'm curious to see. But that's an honorable mention. I've never felt so seen in the weirdest way.
Yeah.
Like in the weirdest way, but like once you really break it down, you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is genius. This is such an interesting way to portray what it's like to feel like an isolated parent sometimes.
Yeah.
It was wild. It was good.
Oh, that sounds good.
That's another honorable mention.
That sounds good. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. I can talk about books all day.
I know.
I've read 45 this year. Like, I will sit here and
45
talk
books.
about every one of them.
I read Manacle twice and half of Howl's Moving Castle.
That's literally 45 books within itself.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Oh my god. Okay. Oh gosh.
Spiritual magical, what we did this year.
Oh my god. I don't even know. Okay, I don't know how to explain mine. But I'm gonna do what I can. This was mine this year. My whole Bible study situation. And like this has taken me to so many incredible places. Not even just this, but like where this ended up leading me and taking me. And it has been
the side quests.
It's the side quests.
It's the side quests.
This has been the most incredible experience, and I have felt so much more, I guess, spiritually fulfilled. My relationship with deity, all of this has grown so much this last year. And it has been like the way that the best way I know how to describe this, because it's difficult for me to talk about because I worry it's going to freak people out.
Yeah, I know. People get really freaked out. And it's like, this is not going Doreen Virtue, y'all chill.
No, I am not Doreen Virtuing you, I promise. But the thing about this that has been so special for me is that this relationship was sort of tainted by other people and other experiences that have nothing to do with the relationship I had. And so rediscovering this through my own lens, the way I've described this to you and the way I've described this to Dawn and other friends that I've spoken to about this is that I feel like when I was in this world initially, I was walking through like somebody else's house with their furniture and their decorations and their art on the walls and whatever. And so I call it deconstruction, but for me, it has been like stripping out all of everybody else's furniture and going, wait, this is my house. And then slowly pulling pieces of furniture in one piece at a time and going, this fits. And this is not for me. None of this has felt to me like changing, has not been really about changing anything I feel, believe, or think. It's been figuring out that there's been more alignment the whole time with what I already feel, believe, and think, and my experiences. And that has been what's been so special. It has been 100% like coming home. And I feel very, very full and very content and very at peace about the whole thing. And it's just, I'm just going to continue to see where it takes me. Yeah. But it has been, to me, no different than any other. Well, quite a bit different than, but it's deity work. It's just, I don't know why I would.
That's what it is. Yes.
But I had such a resistance because I was so nervous about it. But when I first started, I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? You know? And then I was like, oh, this is right for me. This is right.
And
for me. At least
I
right
love,
now,
like, just on a personal aspect, kind of coming along with you and having these discussions and knowing it's again, me and Lisa come at this from very different perspectives and very different mindsets and how we look at things and stuff like that. But it's so interesting how we can look for things for each other and be like, I don't like, this is not my jam. I'm out in this area, but like, did you see this? Did you see this? Let's talk about this. And like, there have been many times where I like message Lisa and I'm like, I fucking hate all these people. I hate everything about this.
It's funny because I've gone down some really like weirdly like academic places, but then I've also gone down some really intensely spiritual places, and both have had something to offer. It's just been it's been incredible. And like putting, for me, it's been about connecting dots to things that I feel like echoes of things that have been whispering to me for years. But if anything, it's deepened my tarot practice. It's deepened my my spiritual practice in general. So none of this is taking me away from myself, but I'm still nervous. Like I said, I still get very nervous talking about it because I don't want people to jump to conclusions.
Because there's so much stigma behind it. And it's like, I think when you're coming at it from a place of, like you said, deity work and expanding your spirituality versus settling into a religious space that can be very stifling and
I'm very anti-dogma is the thing.
Anti-dogma is where,
But through this, I found so much community with people who are approaching this in a similar way. And it's been really beautiful. It's been really, really beautiful. But like, it really is. My experience has been so far that I have to be very intentional about like avoiding the dogma. And so far I've found some really great resources that help me do that. But it's just been so beautiful that I have zero, like it's been a real momentous thing for me this year. That's been really,
it seems like it's added versus changed or subtracted.
I completely think that makes sense. Yeah. It's felt like an addition and a harmonizing, I think would be the two words I would choose. It adds and it harmonizes. It does not remove, take away, add restriction. It adds freedom and peace and connection.
And, you know, coming at it, like doing some of these things with you and coming at it in a way that I was looking for, which was finding the feminine, has really opened so many things. When now I think of dark waters and now I think of just like certain aspects of things where I'm just like, oh, there she is.
Yeah, I love seeing her throughout. Yeah. Really, really incredible.
So for me, not really along the same lines, but sort of, is that I became a traiteur this year. Traiteuse, the female version. That's been a huge thing for me. And you can see, let me see which way I have to turn. I'm going the wrong way.
There we go.
I'll get it, y'all. I will. You can see I've had a few changes to my altar there. You'll see an old card that I redid from that Danielle Noel deck. What is it? Work Your Light Oracle?
Oh, yes. Work Your Light Oracle. Yeah. Wasn't that from that was from the Work Your Light Oracle. Yeah, that's Work Your Light for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So I redid this. This is not, so for my aspect this year, I had to learn a lot of things in Cajun French. And that really changed a lot of my perspectives this year.
Yeah.
And for me, while Catholicism is a very double-edged sword in many ways for me, I was able to find a space where I could honor my traditions as a traiteuse, while also keeping what's true to me and how I feel and the things that I've learned from all of my study, from all of my deity work, from all of this, that, and the other, where I can now look at aspects of the traditional Catholic parts of the traiteuse, because it's not, I'm going to be real,
Catholicism.
It's not.
But no. No.
It's not. It's witchcraft. I'm sorry to tell all of y'all.
Yeah.
But what it did for me was really open up the aspect of how I can incorporate this in a way that feels really right to me.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking certain prayers in French in my, I'm going to call it my native language, in the language of my forefathers and foremothers,
Yeah,
you know,
absolutely.
brings such a different aspect to it, where it's like I'm tying these words to something meaningful to me versus what someone has told me should be meaningful to me.
Mm-hmm.
It has really opened me up. So like that includes, like, I have done different spell work. I mean, of course we have hurricane season, so y'all know I always got, I think I still even have my little cup on my
Your
altar right here.
hurricane
There's
stuff,
always
yeah.
hurricane magic going on in, in hurricane season. But having the idea of the mother goddess
Yeah.
was my aspect this year. Learning to
Yeah.
listen to the darkness there,
Yes, the
not just the
primordial
light.
and the deep dark feminine.
The
Yep.
deep,
Yep.
dark womb waters, if you will, of the
Yeah.
feminine. Like, it's been really impactful and really powerful. And like, that's where I felt like we could really share in that space. Cause I know that
Yeah.
the way that we're coming at things right now are different, but there's still
Yeah.
so much that we've been able to discuss it and share with each other, and
We went through
ideas,
so
and
much together where we were able to sort of blow apart pieces and find mystery and find the magic and find that deep dark feminine and like get excited about that stuff
yeah.
together and finding that alongside. And yeah, we're like, I didn't know where this was taking me when we started. And I don't think like, so it's like we've both been able to kind of mine the gold in whatever way we're being
Yes.
called. And those paths are like, they're not quite parallel, they're more divergent,
There,
but there's place, it's, you know what it is? It's like a serpentine path. There's
I was
places
about
where
to
they
say,
come
like,
together.
we kind of go
Yeah,
in and
it's like
out.
this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's been really, really great. It's been cool to see how your stuff has evolved and also just how you speak about it as a traverse, like the growth and the expansion in that has been so cool to see. Like
Yeah.
people asking you to treat for things and like just like it's been neat. Speaking
Yeah.
of which, because connected, I feel like I asked you about this, and you don't have to talk about it right now if you don't want to. But there was a Cajun class that you were.
Yes. So
What's the
I
status?
actually I signed up for some extended Cajun French lessons. I want to say they start in January. I got myself all
Yeah.
set up, and I'm really excited to do that because that's going to also expand because of the stuff that I know in Cajun French. There's also some of the aspects of being of some of my healings and some of my things that my chants and rituals and stuff like that I have some of it in French and some of it I have in English, and I want to convert it all into French. I want it all in Cajun French
Oh,
because it feels
like more magical,
more
more
magical.
effective. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I
Yeah.
know that's where the roots are. And I
Yeah.
feel like if you speak it in the language that it was meant to be spoken in, it just holds more weight. And it connects me
Yeah.
to my grandfather and to my past,
Yeah.
my things. And so that's what I'm going to be going on my journey there. And then I found some places that have like the Cajun table where that you can go and everybody just kind of gathers around, whether you're just starting or it's, you know, everywhere. It's where you can go and speak French. You go, it's called the Cajun table. You go, you sit down with all kinds of people, you walk around, you know, it's just a hangout where you can talk French to each other and you
Oh, I
can
love that so
learn.
much.
So
Yeah.
it's kind of like an immersion space. They'll do it every once in a while where like anybody
Yeah.
is welcome to come and speak French
Yeah.
and use it in conversation, and where we can hear it again, man. I'm really excited about that, you know? Like it makes me emotional because like I haven't truly heard it like that in too long. And so
Yeah.
that's really exciting to me. So that's something that's coming. But yeah. So becoming a treatise has really opened a lot of things. It showed me the aspects of myself that I felt like were there before, but I've never got to express. I never had that chance. And like having
Yeah.
a teacher and doing the things and actually treating and, you know, doing these things has been amazing, you know? And
I
it's
just
like,
imagine if you hadn't reached out, if you hadn't You know, you sought that out for yourself
I
and
did.
like made the connections you need to make. And there's so many people that would have wistfully gone, I wonder what if, and you didn't do that. You like went for it.
I,
And I don't know if
I
you
had
recognize, but
to.
that's
I
such a big
couldn't.
deal.
It's like I went through this phase where like I couldn't get it off my mind. I was like, I
Yeah.
gotta do this. I gotta do this. I gotta do this. And I reached out, and then it was so funny because I got a DM, and it was this lady that said like, I know you asked in this place. They're not going to help. I've seen it a bazillion times. She said, but I know somebody. And he had
Yeah.
asked me, and I know I don't have it in me. But hearing what you said and knowing, like, she's like, you really need to reach out to him. And I did, and it was amazing. I, I don't
Love
know
it.
where I'd be right now without it. It was the most fulfilling and magical thing I think I've ever done.
I love that so much.
It
It's
was
so
amazing.
cool actually when you think about it like that. That's like I said, that serpentine kind of parallel this year, but we both had these big spiritual, like, I don't know, awakening seems like such a weird
Awakenings.
word, but kind of. That's what it feels
Yeah.
like. Yeah, like expansion. Maybe that's a good word. A spiritual expansion.
Expansion.
I
Yeah.
feel like both of us expanded spiritually in new
Yeah.
ways, and it's just been really incredible.
And I don't know if you went through this because, well, I believe you did because we kind of talked about it a little bit. It's like, I grew up Catholic. It was right before I made my confirmation where I literally walked into the front room and I was like, I'm not going back. I'm
Yeah.
done with this. I'm
Yeah.
done.
Yeah.
And I started looking. What
Yeah.
feels right?
Yeah.
Let me try this. Let me read about this. Let me learn more about that aspect. And
Yeah.
everything has really tied and came back to a place where now I can look at the traditions that I grew up with, knowing that not only I have French, Scottish, Irish, I have all of that kind of shoved in, among other things, but those have been the bigger influences because I see them
Yeah.
in the aspects of our stuff. And like for me, finding that feminine, especially that dark feminine, opened a lot of stuff. Because around here, I don't know how it is for all Catholicism. I know that Mary is a part of it. We do have that feminine, but over here, you'd be hard pressed, especially back in the Gap, to not find a Mary statue in everybody's yard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it makes you think about stuff, and it's like,
We've
why?
always needed that
Because we
feminine, and I think
need the feminine.
there's always been that balance. I think for me, it was the shock of realizing that there is scriptural basis for Asherah, for a consort, perhaps for, and I think a lot of this requires, I think, going into things with a bit of an open mind. But I've been exploring. Well, there's two books that I've been dipping into. One is called The Great Lady, which is really good. It's academic. It's hard to read, but it's got a lot of really good references. The easier to read one is called When God Had a Wife, and I'm working with both of those books, dipping in and dipping out. But then there's just when you look into some of this stuff with an eye to where is she? Because just because she's not written about because it was patriarchal culture, this, that, and the other, doesn't mean that she wasn't there, that she wasn't present for people. And discovering that and seeing where that shows up has been really, really, really interesting. It is difficult. I think you have to approach, if you're going to dive into this kind of thing, you kind of have to approach the text with an eye to, am I going to explore this in the lens of like reading this as unbiased truth, or am I going to recognize that there is a cultural context to what I am reading and then look for the hints at what is being unsaid or what is being skirted around and go, what does that mean? And sometimes being able to do that is more powerful than the text itself, if that makes sense.
It's so true. And then understanding that certain things were kept, and I can't speak for all religions, but I know for a fact in Catholicism, there are so many aspects that are shifted and changed depending upon where you are as a Catholic. Ethiopia, totally different.
Yeah.
Right? Different spaces have different, like there's an overarching theme. But like you can tell who probably descended from a goddess-based religion.
Yeah.
Depending upon how they practice Catholicism. You can tell who came from you can tell kind of where that has come from because you still see it today in way, shapes, and forms. But I call it, me and some of my family had this conversation because around Christmas, it always comes up like, you're a traitor, you do energy work. What do you think this is? What do you think that is? So I answered a lot of questions, but it was just like, I call it like over here, what I do and the aspects of what I do, where I mix cards, witchcraft, and traitor kind of information. All the old Cajuns, they're used to that.
Yep.
All the old people, they're like, oh, baby, I know, such and such. Her mama used to do that. We used to go see this person. Oh, that's taunt blah, blah over there. Like, the old people know. Now, I call them the new Catholics. They don't be fucking with stuff. But, like, it's just so interesting. It's just so interesting.
This is where you get, this is the mix between, like, exploring something in a dogmatic fashion where you're letting other people tell you what's true and exploring truth for yourself. What's interesting for me with all of this is that I don't have anybody in my ear telling me what I need to believe, even though wildly I've been attending services on Sundays. Like I found community that like, okay, this is good because it's not telling me what to believe. It's been wild. But I think that's the thing is like being the thing that helped in the very beginning for me was picking up that cultural context study Bible.
Cultural context
alongside.
Is very
well,
and I love that because this you can actually say I come back pissed. I'm always pissed. I always hate everyone.
Yes. I've got that one on my list, Artemisian, about when God was a woman. But what's interesting is that, so like this is a new translation called the NRSV updated edition. So a lot of the old mistranslations have been kind of updated, corrected. They're always doing that with new examples of either the Hebrew or the Greek or whatever they're updating. So that helps having a decent, like a good modern, well-translated edition. But then the cultural context alongside was great because it would say, this is like, look, this is what was going on in the ancient Near East. This is what was going on in Mesopotamia. Oh, here's a myth that exactly mirrors the flood myth that would have informed these stories. And it just adds all of this.
And that's the aspect that fascinates me is when you start breaking down, like, where did this really come? This didn't originate here. Yeah. A lot of it didn't originate there. It originated way back. So it's finding that and understanding why they retold that story in the way that they retold it.
What were they trying to do?
Coming at it from a different space. So like, it was very interesting. Sorry, y'all. I know we're on a tangent.
I know we're tangenting everywhere. I'm so sorry. Like everything's a rabbit hole. I'll try to reel it in. It's not gonna happen.
Anyway, we've done a lot of that kind of work, and we've done a lot of it together. Or like you said, like on our serpentine path, where we go apart and come together and kind of regroup and talk about it. Like, these are the aspects that I learned. What are your thoughts? Do you have anything to add to that? And I think that finding someone who will go, or a group of people or whatever, that is open enough to listen to what you have to say and for you to listen to what they have to say. And you don't have to agree, but you can understand and find that truth and understand context and like, okay, well, I see it like this. Like, okay, I get that. I see it this way. Like,
I being say that is the hugest part. Like,
it's to explore.
Because I was scared as hell. When I felt this pull, I was like, oh my God. And I was kind of freaking out. And I remember I came to you. I went to another friend. I'm not going to name anybody who I haven't asked. But I was like, here's what I'm thinking. Here's what I want to do. And like, I was nervous. But having people who are going to meet you where you are and not judge you and not make assumptions and not like
freak out.
It makes a big difference. So know your people, like know who you can talk to. If you're exploring stuff, being like you said, being able to like just bring things to each other and like bounce things off and be like, hey, this, hey, that. And one of the things I said to you in the beginning is like, I was so scared I was going to lose myself. I'm like, I'm feeling this pull, but I don't want to lose myself. And so I feel like we were able to like explore in a way that made me feel safe too, because I knew you were going to keep me grounded if I got like off into La La Land. I'm like,
we got into La La Land. I'm like, Lisa, come back to me.
Come back. Yeah. It was really, really great. So yeah, know your people, find your people for sure.
And don't be afraid to, when you're exploring, don't be afraid to put down some of the old things that you were told were true and to find that truth for yourself. And if you can't find it, if it's not there, let it go. Find something different.
Yeah.
Don't be
Yeah.
afraid to put it aside. You're not caught. There are certain aspects that I battle with, and like, how can you be a church because you're not a full Catholic? I don't give a shit. I was born and raised Catholic. I have my beliefs. I know who I am, and I know that what I do works.
Yeah. You got to find what works for you. I think that's the thing is like, I think if I'd have tried to do this 20 years ago, I probably would have lost myself. But I know what I believe now. Like I have a very strong spiritual sense of like, what is my beliefs about the world? What are my beliefs in general? And that gives me the foundation to explore and not lose myself in the process too. So like, I think it also helps to just be really solid about like what feels true to me, because that's the truth that matters at the end of the day.
And I'm going to throw one more thing out there.
Yeah, do it.
If fear starts to creep in, it's not it.
Agreed. Totally. Yep. Totally.
Spirituality, in my opinion, once it tips into fear, it is no longer beneficial.
I completely agree. If something is making you feel not good enough, afraid, ashamed, that is not your path.
That is not your path.
That is not your path. And I think that's the thing. Like, yes, I think I'm really glad you said that, because that's really powerful. And I think sometimes people think, oh, if I've tiptoed down this path, I have to keep going down it. No, you freaking don't.
No, you don't.
You can take a few steps over here and go, whoa, Nelly, not my thing. I'm going to go over here. Peace out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's absolutely. Like, and you know, again, we talked about that, learning who you can talk to about certain aspects. I know that I have certain people in my life where, like, once we start heading down this path, I always say, like, we can agree to disagree. Yeah. That's just not where it takes me. And like, yeah, sometimes I can be a little judgy and say some shitty things. I'm like, it's the cult of the sun. This is bullshit. But I'm not going to judge you for that. That's my opinion. I'm not going to look at you differently because you follow a certain path. It's just not for me. I can have my own opinion and still be respectful to you. Absolutely. You know what I mean? And not like
we need more of that in general. I think we need more of realizing the one thing this has taught me this year more than anything else, I think, is that we are mostly walking very similar paths, and the differences are tiny. Now, the differences are tiny, but are going to feel real different to the people on the different paths. Big, yeah. Valid. But we are mostly, those of us who are on any kind of a spiritual path are mostly fairly aligned in general. Yeah. We want to be good people. We want to do good in the world. We want to, heal and grow and expand.
I feel like that runs through so many aspects, because like, just because I have explored it and am going and following certain Catholic rituals and traditions and, certain things, that doesn't stop me from knowing that when I need, I call on Persephone. I call on Hecate. I call on these same spirits, these same deities that ring true to me because I need that energy right now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those are my rules.
That's been the case for cultures throughout the world for thousands of generations.
Yeah.
It's what do we need? What voice do we need? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, next one. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay.
Got on a whole tangent, y'all. Hope you enjoyed. I hope we didn't lose
3 hours later.
we did talk about books, right? We already talked about books.
We did books,
Okay, let's do a simple one. Food and drink. Do you have a favorite drink? Let me hear your favorite drink of this year.
Yes. This year, I think my favorite is I discovered oat milk lattes, and just oat milk in general, I think. I don't know what my deal is, but I love oat milk in a latte. Like, all my lattes are oat milk now. When I go to Starbucks, it's always oat milk.
Did you try the new iced gingerbread oat latte?
No, I should.
You should.
I didn't. Is it good? Because I tried the other, like last year they had a different one, like an apple. They might have an apple one this year, and it was weird. I couldn't do it. I like the nutty ones, but I should try the ginger because I do love gingerbread.
Try gingerbread. Try the gingerbread one. It was really good. Now, it's a gingerbread chai. Do you like chai?
I like chai, yeah.
Okay.
And it's a ginger oat latte. Is that what it is?
Gingerbread.
But iced? I should get it iced?
Well, it comes iced. You could probably get it hot. I'm sure you could get it hot.
Yeah, either way. My drinks at Starbucks this last like 4 months have I always go to Starbucks when I think about drinks, but anyways, have been the pecan crunch oat latte, and the chestnut praline latte, but with oat milk this season.
I love
I
how you
switched it out
say
for oat milk.
pecan and
So good.
praline. That's so great.
I will never change. But you know what? I also can't say pecan now without thinking about pecans.
Pecans. You gonna pee in a can?
That's what I think of every fucking time. Ever since we had that conversation. But I also am not going to change because I'm me.
I know. I'm not gonna.
That was
I
my
just
drink.
giggle.
My food, I will just say we have a crumble cookies here now. We just went last night, so it's top of mind. I literally have a ginger snap from Crumble in the kitchen for my lunch coming up that I cannot wait to eat. But that's been fun. I couldn't think of any other specific thing. I'm sure there's been lots of amazing food this year, but those are the things that stood out. What about you?
Okay, so I mean, I always have my coffee, my Jet coffee. That's our local place. But
Jet coffee.
I'm gonna go with an alcoholic beverage.
Oh yes.
My current new favorite is I don't even know what you would call it. Maybe like a Satsuma margarita-ish on the rocks. Okay, so
delicious.
Bayou is a Louisiana company, and they make different ones. I had their coffee liqueur; it was really good. But they make a Satsuma rum, and it's so good. So you put 2 ounces of Satsuma rum, 1 ounce of lime juice, and a half ounce of simple syrup, and you serve it over ice.
Oh my God.
And it is delicious.
That sounds so fresh.
It's so fresh. It's so good. You sip that. Oh, I love it.
That sounds amazing.
It's
that
so
sounds
refreshing.
Really good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God. So good. I have blackberry wine on my counter. Cannot wait. I love blackberry wine. Yeah.
For food, I go through weird things with food. Where like I'll eat the same things. But right now I'm in the middle of a shift. But I will say, as a general thing, I'm usually not a soup person, but these past few months I have been all about making different kinds of soups. Like I'll be roasting all my vegetables and then blend it all and then put all the spices in, or like I'll do cream-based soups, whatever. Last night I made a chickpea soup.
Oh, so I like lentils and
like for me, I'm usually not a soup person, but soups this year have been a thing.
Yeah, that's valid.
I've been loving them.
And crackers.
Oh, and crackers.
You gotta have your crackers.
I literally ate crackers before I came on.
Yeah, I was like, you gotta mention crackers. They gotta be on your list.
Crackers are, any kind of listen, I'm down for some sandwich crackers, regular crackers.
You know what I've been eating a lot this year actually are Lunchables. Like I'm 7. But there's something about, you know what it is? It's Lunchables, and this year I specifically discovered Kewpie mayo, which is Japanese mayonnaise. And so literally this is my routine. I'll get a Lunchable, cracker, little piece of cheese or whatever, little squirt of Kewpie mayo, little cheese, all together, delicious.
I've also been obsessed with have you seen any of the sometimes you just have to eat a whole cucumber and they make like a big
you made that thing. You made that delicious cucumber thing.
Yeah.
I still haven't made that.
Yesterday I went to Trader Joe's literally on the hunt, and I got 3 bags of pre-shelled edamame solely to add that to all of my shit, because I can't find them over here. Everything's all in the frozen pack and it's all done. I ain't got time for that. I want shelled edamame, and our Asian market is in limbo right now. They're building a bigger one. So bated breath, I'm waiting. But that's also been another thing that I've just been obsessed with.
Yes. Oh my God. So good.
Oh my God. So good. Okay. We're almost done, guys. I know we're
Yeah.
Listen, okay. We'll skip the craft and hobby because y'all all know what we've been doing.
Yeah. For real.
Let's go ahead and talk about our tarot oracle.
Okay. I can do that. I was so restrained But I was actually thinking, what did I use the most this year? And that I was like most blown away by. And for me, it is the Tarot of Her. I have just had such a beautiful experience with this deck. I don't know what the story is. If anybody knows, let us know, because I have not looked it up. The Kickstarter happened, the decks came in, and then I'm not sure what happened next. I know they sold out, so I think they're maybe out of print, but I don't know if they're coming back or what their plan is. But oh my gosh, this deck is so beautiful. First of all, it's round, which is so lovely.
Which is so great.
There's a whole system in the guidebook. I have it flagged where based on the tilt of the card, you have a moon phase that's associated. And so you have this list of like moon phase attributes that change the energy of the card. So if it's like waning, here's some keywords for how to sort of work with the stuff. But what I love about this is I actually pull these cards. I'll pull a card from here every Sunday. And so it's kind of like associated with my spiritual practice. Like I'll do my Bible stuff, I'll pull a card from Tarot of Her, and I harmonize these things. And I have had the most incredible experience this year with like pulling a card, reading about it, journaling about it, and then watching a sermon, because I've been watching these from this like really progressive. It's been awesome. Anyways, and the two will end up like harmonizing. Like the main takeaway like message will be totally aligned, and it's been just really, really cool. So this has become a Sunday practice for me that I do, and I have gotten so much out of it. And it also kind of is an intentional thing where it helps me to pull in that divine feminine so that it stays connected.
It stays there.
Yeah. And that's what this deck is all about. It's kind of like the way that I sort of conceptualize it is the divine feminine for me represents the earth and the being and the experiencing. And like Dani and I have talked about that a lot, but this deck represents that energy for me. And then also a lot of the cards have keywords, which is really great. All the numbered minor arcana. So here's the 7 of Roots, and it says evaluation. The majors don't, but like here's the Ace of Leaves, and it's the power, or air power rather. Or like where's another one? It's major. 9 of Roots, accomplishment. The keywords are really great. But these are really good. There's for every entry, there's even a like a little saying kind of at the bottom of the guidebook.
Is it like an affirmation or just like a quote?
It's like a quote. So for example, this is the 3 of Stems, which is the 3 of Cups. And it says friendship is the gift that keeps on giving, but there's also a reflection. So it'll say, how are you nourished by your network? So it kind of is a springboard for journaling one. Yeah. So this has been my tarot of the year, hands down. I use it every week. It always is out. So it definitely deserved pride of place. Do you want to do your tarot and then we can flip over to Oracle?
Yes.
Okay.
So my tarot, the one that I probably used the most this year, and it was mostly because I did that full study with your book, has been the Heartwood.
The Heartwood. Yeah, this is such a cool deck.
Because I got to know this so well and it put it in such a cozy space for me. I don't know. I just find myself like always going, always going back to this. Like I'm going back to this the most, I think, this year. Is just kind of going, I don't know, to this place of, it feels like being held, I think.
Yeah.
Because I think I put so much time and so much energy, and the way that I incorporated what you wrote into not only like an overall thing, but like really focused in on this deck. And it was just like, oh, I can write on this one because I have my, my finished copy. This was a prototype. So I wasn't overly like, I need to use this all the time. Like it was just
no, it was convenient. Like, oh no, come back, Miss Dani, we miss you. Oh no. Heartwood Tarot is so sweet. I know, it's such a good one. I love the vibe. Poor Dani. Her internet's like, screw you. We'll see if she gets to come back quick this time. Hi, Tarot Geek. Yeah, I think with Heartwood Tarot, it's total cozy vibes. I love how it feels like you're walking through like a little cottage. It's magical. It's lovely. Come back, Miss Dani. Oh, it says me. Okay. Well, I love hearing. Why do they always freeze on a weird face and not a smile? Yeah, I know. It is totally Dani's strong magnetic energy. I heartily agree. While she's waiting to come back, let me tell you about something else that I wanted to talk about for this year. I'll just keep y'all entertained. The other big thing from this year is the dice casting. Y'all, can I tell you, every time I do a daily draw, I cast dice over my cards now. Every time. Every time. So, like, not necessarily my bigger spreads, although nowadays I do, but I'm just babbling at people about dice now. I cast dice over my, like, daily draws constantly. I was talking about the dice casting.
Awesome. I just put myself on my phone because
you're over it. You're like, I am sick of this shit. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Anyways, Heartwood, you were talking about.
Yes. Anyway, the Heartwood has probably been the one that I've gone back to the most this year.
Yeah.
Where it just kept coming up and coming back into my perspective. Of course, I had so many that I was able to, connect with and learn from this year. And yeah, this one was really, really special. Really special.
Oh, I
So,
love that.
let's see. So in talking about that, what about our Oracle?
Same kind of deal for me. I picked the one that I feel like I've gone back to the most, and I spent a ton of time with this deck this year, so I wanted to mention it. It was hard to pick a favorite because I feel like I've used so many things.
Yeah.
But Faces and Forests is one that it was a part of my bedtime practice for almost the entire year. I've just recently taken a pause from it, but it's a beautiful deck with a sort of reflection question right on every card. And that was the reason. So, like, here it's hide and shine, and it says you're full of beauty and value. Are you letting yourself shine, or are you staying hidden?
Ooh.
And so it's just got that the whole way through. And so I like to pull these and then journal a little bit. And it's just great for that. It's just lovely. So I've used it a ton this year. It's by the same creator, Kat Riles, who did Roots and Wings. So
Ooh, I love Roots and Wings. I have that
me
one.
too. That's an all-time fave. But I spent a lot of time with this year. So I feel like between this one and otherwise I would have to say the Seasons of the Witch Oracle decks in general, I still have those incorporated almost every day. Yeah. Whatever season we're in. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. Yeah. So I kind of cheated. It's not technically an Oracle. No one is surprised. Listen.
You're Lenormand. Yeah, I love it.
I have been, I'm crude. I've been balls deep in this for this year. I go through waves, and then it's like I go back and I'm like, this is why I loved it so much. Why do you keep putting it back? So now it lives with Mystic Masters in this bag because it doesn't leave my desk. Yeah. And I have been expanding a lot with Lenormand. Like, so I've been playing around with, like, I'll find a tarot deck, and instead of just pulling, like, a tarot spread. So instead of just pulling like one for each thing, I'm like, Lenormand doesn't work that way. So, I mean, it can. Just don't at me. But, like, you want a full perspective. One card is kind of like a playing card. Like, it'll tell you something, but it doesn't, like, give you the full round. So, like, in a tarot spread where I'll have something like, I have something up here, like, what to explore. I'll go with that. Like, so let's say, like, number one is like what to explore. Number two, what to leave behind. So I'll take what to explore, and I'll either do I'll pick, the ship. Where am I going? What am I exploring? Yeah. And so I'll shuffle, I'll find my ship, and I pull the cards around it. Or I will set the intention, and I'll just let the cards come out for that. And I'll read what it says. And then I'll go on to the next one. And so it's like taking those ideas, but expanding them in Lenormand. And I love the way that it not only tells the story, but it gives a bigger perspective. It's more of a, I don't know, it's just a different feel to it. And I've been really in it. Like, I love it. That's been one of my favorites. Like, just to something that's not tarot that I've been working with. If I had to really say, when it comes to an
Oh. I think she's saying an actual oracle. This will give her time to pull the deck, though. So, anyways, what are y'all's favorites? Listen in the chat. Favorite tarot of 2024. Favorite oracle of 2024. Poor Dani's internet. R.I.P. Dani's internet, for real.
I turned my Wi-Fi off. My Wi-Fi shit on me again. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay. So, actual oracle.
Actual oracle.
Robin, right? Ooh, Scarab and Dahlia for trio. Oh, poor Dani.
Ooh, Scarab and Dahlia. Ooh, yes. Probably oldie but goodie. Probably has not left my desk all year, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
Archetypes deck this year. I really find that this is like, it's either right here or right here, because I've been using it for so much. I love it for good themes. Now, of course, I have it out right now because anybody that does a year ahead spread, a year ahead reading with me, I love having this deck for like year aheads or like birthday readings, anything where I need a really good theme, where I want to be like, where is this really set? What kind of energy really surrounds it? I find it gives such a well-rounded space to sit in that it really just feels all-encompassing. And so I really think that probably above all, like, special mention, The Anatomy of Healing has been on my desk for a long time right now. Yeah, I really think those are the ones that I've really been like hardcore Lenormand though for the past couple months for sure. It's been like heavy on the list.
We're gonna practice together that grand tableau. I cannot wait. Yeah. That's gonna be fun.
I've been loving messing with the grand tableau, and it always like, it's one of those things that can be incredibly intimidating where I'm like, I'm gonna get lost, I'm gonna whatever, and it's like, no, there's so many ways that you can do it. And when you really like, and that's what me and Lisa were talking about, I'm like, I want to sit in front of each other and be like, let's look at full grand tableau. Let's like, give me questions, give me this, give me that. Let me look at it. Let me find it. Let me go here. Let me go there. It's just been so much fun. It's been so much fun to play around with it like that.
Yeah, I'm having kind of a falling back in love with Lenormand year again too, because of that series that I'm doing. So it's series, like I've been dipping back in, but as a result, I've been reaching for Lenormand a lot more because it's like front of mind more again, So super fun. Yeah, great pick.
Yeah, I love that one.
So good.
Anyway, I know we hit that 2-hour mark, you guys. Y'all have been troopers.
For reals. Thank you guys.
Hanging out with us.
Amazing.
I love how we're showing like, Tarot the Abyss, the Vampires. Oh yeah. Creative Consciousness Healing Oracle.
Yeah.
Cosmic Crossroads.
Oh, that's a good idea. God. Yeah.
These are great. Oh yeah, that would be fun.
Nance, oh my god.
It's so hard.
So hard. Yeah, Witch Sister Tarot is a good one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
The Lost Oracle. Yeah.
So good. So good.
There's been a lot of good stuff this year.
So many good things. So many good things. Well, listen, thank you guys for hanging out with us for all of 2024. Thank you for being a part of this. 11 episodes and counting. And we have just had the time, you guys. The best time.
It's been amazing. So fun.
And as always, if you're watching this afterwards or if you're in here and you want to share your favorites, even if it's like the full list, do a VR and tag us. Mention them down in the comments. Tag us on Instagram or wherever. Share with us all of favorites because we love hearing all of that. We love interacting with you guys and just making this a whole ass conversation.
Hell
So,
yeah.
so happy New Year, everybody! And
Happy New Year!
I hope that we have many more years. Oh, look, it made me thumbs up.
Doesn't work for me.
What
Oh!
just happened?
Is it because you said Happy New Year? I don't
Because we
know, but that's
said that.
amazing.
Happy New Year! Oh no, I don't know. 2 thumbs up? I don't know. Two
Oh,
thumbs
that's
up.
what it was.
Apparently.
That's amazing. Oh, so funny.
So crazy. Anyway, you guys have a great rest of your day. Thank you all for hanging out with us, and we will
Thank you
talk to you all
all.
very soon. We're sending you all of
Bye.
our love. Later, guys.
Later.